Hey, welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Branson Quirk.
And I'm Kay McCabe.
Getting ready for that mayor election here in Los Angeles, or what?
It's been a lot of drama surrounding it.
Really? I haven't seen.
Oh, well.
Just
You
kidding.
live under a rock.
I live in Orange County, so all of this is just, I don't care.
I just moved to LA, so I don't care, but it's so fascinating to see.
We can't vote, essentially, right? Or you're in LA, so you can vote, right?
Yes, but I'm not registered to vote
Okay,
here.
right. So we're just going to talk about it then.
Our opinions don't matter.
We have no skin in the game,
Right.
Unfortunately. But Spencer Pratt, obviously, everybody's got their opinions on this.
What reality show is he from? I have no idea who this man is.
The Hills.
That's some
The
LA
Hills. It was a big show.
stuff, isn't it?
And he was the prominent villain on the show.
Never seen
and
it.
It's funny, a lot of people out there all over the place are saying, I can't believe that I'm actually debating voting for Spencer Pratt, even though he was like the worst on the show. And now they're kind of turning a leaf with him.
I'm sure a lot of people felt like that when Trump was first, running. So, it seems new and it seems like an odd, concept, but it's not.
Right. And it does seem similar. We said it yesterday that they say, oh, he's not there in the polls where he should be, but that Trump was the same way. And then all of a sudden, landslide. So you never know. So let's just continue on with what's going on today.
Okay.
So Spencer Pratt has reportedly signed on to film a reality show both during the campaign and if he's elected to continue rolling in the office.
Right.
What do you think of that?
I think that this is a reality star. I don't think people should be shocked by this. When it comes into the legalities of it, I'm not too sure. But as far as just like him wanting to record and document his life, I mean, hey, it's how he started and it's the reason people know his name before him running for mayor. So I kind of understand it. And it's not surprising.
And cameras are supposedly going to be following Heidi Montag, their children, Spencer Pratt. And again, like I said, filming will continue even if he becomes mayor of Los Angeles.
Right.
And there's a lot of controversy about that because I don't know what the rules are with filming a reality show.
Right. Well, that's why Donald Trump had to give up Celebrity Apprentice, because to be a president, you can't have like outside businesses or something like that. So we know that he had to give up Celebrity Apprentice when he ended up getting elected.
And if he's elected, obviously he'll potentially move into the mayor's mansion in Hancock Park. So filming will take place there.
You want to know my real opinion, Branson?
Sure. I mean, you're supposed to give your real opinion.
Right. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I think that moving forward in the next 10 to 20 years, we're going to see more of that, with social media getting as big as it is. And a lot of celebrities are getting more into politics. They're talking about Stephen A. Smith possibly running for president soon. I think that we're going to see more and more of politics and reality TV and social media intermixing, and it's going to be our new norm.
And I'm fine with that. Because you like the tea. You want to see the tea. You want to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
And especially with what's going on with this election right now and the backlash that he's receiving. So reportedly, cameras are about to start filming. Yeah. And this is going to cover the campaign portion, which I think that the campaign portion might be more entertaining than the actual moments in office.
Oh, for sure.
What's going on right now? Tell me what you think about this, because he came on TMZ Live yesterday.
Yes, he did.
And he's getting torched because he claimed that he was living in an Airstream trailer on his burnt down property in the ad. This is where I live. But then he said, I never said I lived there. But then we kind of corrected him on that. He danced around it saying, I'm in the Hotel Bel Air, but I'm homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I have no issue where he lays his head at night.
Okay.
I don't think that it hurts the campaign whatsoever. There was a poll on TMZ Live yesterday. 94% agree, saying that this does not hurt his campaign. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, it was actually a poll I ran on Twitter. But I think that I think there's two sides to this. One, I agree. His house burned down. So where he lays his head should not affect his campaign and his run at all. However, he did say in that campaign ad this is where I live. And so much so that before he said, this is where I live in that trailer, he went on to say, this is where Karen Bass lives. This is where so-and-so lives. And they're high and mighty. This is where I live. So he was trying to point out, hey, I'm living in the slums while they're living with their high tea and chefs. And we need to, that was his run.
And he said that's the message.
So why tell that little white lie if you're really in the hotel? Just say, hey, I don't have an address right now. I'm homeless. I'm bouncing around place to place. And people would have understood that, and he would have never had to go and clarify anything.
Thing is, it's like, I think we're looking a little too much into it. This is a detail that really doesn't matter.
No, we're not looking too much into it. People when people are electing someone, they want an honest person. They want somebody who's not going to lie. And not sorry, but that's what I deem a lie. And so
did you really believe that he was in a trailer living at that area, solo, being such a high profile person?
Yeah, if you say this is where I live, then yes, I'm going to believe what you say.
It was a metaphorical show.
No, it wasn't.
It was the show, like, you burnt my house down and there's a trailer there. It's an ad. It's a campaign ad. He might be saying, like, this is the situation of other people nearby. They also have trailers. I believe I've seen that there are other people that have trailers on their property. Same thing. So I think it's kind of like this is what my community is dealing with here.
Let me tell you something.
It's not a big deal.
People tore up.
I'm still voting for him. Like, whatever.
You're in Orange County. You can't even vote for
I know, I can't, but I would.
So, people tore up Obama for being from Hawaii or something like that. People pick and choose what they want to pick at. And I think specifically for this situation, he said in that ad video, and it really was the setup to, this is where I live. The setup was, Karen's living good. This guy's living good. Everybody's living good but me. I'm with you guys. So vote for me because I'm going to change this, that, and the third. And it's just like, don't run with, you didn't have to do that because now you're caught in your act.
Well, let's move on from that aspect of it, because that's the only aspect that anybody has against this guy right now. That's
Eric Wilson's peeking in with us right now.
Eric Wilson, Eric, he's peeking in, looking at us right now. So that is the only negative I'm seeing so far, that this is the only thing that they can use to attack him. I want to hear what your opinion on policy and what he's talked about in the debates, what his ads have been saying, which concerns
don't ask me
like homeless out there in Los Angeles. Have you seen LA, how horrible it is?
I'm new to LA. I'm about 9 months in, and I have. It's I live I'm not gonna say where I live, but I don't live downtown and up there. But it's
not just downtown nowadays.
I know. And I've lived in a lot of cities, Vegas, Atlanta, New York City. I've lived in Alabama, I'm primarily from Tennessee. And so I've seen it's pretty horrific out there. And don't get me wrong, I don't pay attention to the politics here just yet. I've listened to Karen, I've listened to a little bit of Spencer, and I understand that debate and what's going on. But don't get me to asking policies and everything. You can tell me what he's preaching, and I'll tell you if I like what I'm hearing.
Well, when I say policy, I really mean more so like his message and everything.
I don't know.
What we're talking about.
I don't know his message.
So yeah, the message being like someone's got to do something about what's going on.
I think that should be everybody's message.
I know, but these city officials have been saying it for years. They come around, they say we're going to do something about it. Not only does it not happen, it gets worse.
And boom, you're proving my point. You're saying that these city officials have been talking. They've been talking, and they'll say we're going to do something, and they're not doing it. And what's that called? A lie. So when Spencer does a little white lie, like, this is where I live, and then you go on TMZ Live and say, I never said that, and then it's like, we cut to the video, you literally said that. What you should do is take accountability when you come on TMZ Live and said, you know what, I did say that, and this is one of the places I've lived since my house burned down. However, yes, I'm bouncing around. If he would have took that like a grown man and took that responsibility and been like, you know what, the trailer, the hotel, my place up in Santa Barbara, I've lived in all these places since my house burned down. So yes, I said that, but I also meant like I have other places where I lay my head because I don't have an address, and I would have gave him all respect.
He did say that in a way.
No, he didn't.
I know what you're saying.
And it's like you're not sorry because you did it. You're sorry because you got caught. We would have never known he was at the hotel unless we weren't TMZ and good at what we do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
but this
see what I'm saying?
But this is all that his people against him have. That's it. So this is not. I just want to know: is this really going to hurt his campaign
We're
or
going
not?
to spend this whole 17, 20 minutes on this.
Yeah. Sorry, we got to get to the next story.
Right.
But I don't know how long, Tony. You can look it up. How much longer does he have until this thing is all said and done?
It's like June.
Yeah,
June.
I think it's in June.
6th.
The primary is in June, but the
Primary.
election is not for another couple months after that.
Yes.
So it's going to be a while. You got to keep. You're going to see this. Going on for a little bit.
And I do want you to know, like, if I were a registered voter in LA and I was,
You don't have to tell us who you're going to vote for. It's okay.
no, and I was very much paying attention to this, I wouldn't let that little thing sway me from not voting for him. I don't know if I would vote for him or not. I'm not saying I would have. But I'm saying if I was leaning towards him, it wouldn't make me not want to vote for him. It would just make me have like an eye to him. You know what I mean? I don't think this is swaying people from not voting for him. I don't think it's that bad. But it's just like, oh, you told a lie. That's strike number 1.
So the election is November 3rd, 2026.
Oh, we got a while. We got a while. So they have a lot of time to film.
We're going to know where we're at next month.
They should have started filming like 4 weeks ago.
I'm sure the cameras are up.
Well, reportedly they're not. Not yet.
Well,
not yet.
We'll see.
So, okay. Well, it's so funny. So many people care about LA right now when it's just one city. And it feels like a national election, doesn't it?
No. I think LA people think that people care about LA when you're in LA and it's we don't.
I don't know. I mean,
we don't really care that much.
In Spencer's
we cared about y'all when y'all are in your swag.
It is June 2nd. My bad.
Wait, the election is in June.
That's
Wait,
what
no,
I said.
But the primary's in June. But when is like the swearing?
No, I think that's the election and
That's
then
the primary.
Yeah, there's like a runoff in November if you get to that.
You know what we sound like right now?
Like we don't know.
Like we didn't do our research.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's move
Regardless
on.
of what
Let's just move on.
Let's move on. Maybe the commenters can help us out with that. Yeah, there's a lot of dates in these things. There's the primaries and there's the election.
We are embarrassing ourselves.
All right, let's talk about Chris Brown.
Oh, my God.
You want to
Chris,
pitch this?
Yeah, sure. You know what? Chris got some drama going on. So supposedly, reportedly, a man has been arrested at Chris Brown's Tarzana home after allegedly trying to start a fire at his house. The man supposedly hopped a fence and entered Chris Brown's home property. From there, he attempted to start a fire, but supposedly or reportedly, someone at the residence confronted this man before police ended up being called and arrived. He was later arrested for trespassing. Now, here's the crazy part. He was arrested for trespassing. Then he was released on bond. After being released on bond, the man went back to Chris Brown's home and attempted the same crime. Is that not crazy? Is that the story?
It is a common issue. I watch a lot of police body cam, and I've seen this probably 5 to 10 times, where the video title will be inmate gets out and goes back to the scene of the crime or goes back to the person that they're targeting. And then it comes down to like the judge. You know, why would he release someone like this?
Yes. I mean, honestly,
somebody did do their homework.
We can get into the nitty gritty.
You can.
We can get to the nitty gritty of the justice system, but we won't have to touch it for real. And I think it was a woman now that I'm reading. Oh, okay. Well, was the second incident a woman?
It says the same person.
It says, okay. Security guard allegedly fired okay, we're going to act like we know what we're talking about because we do.
Yes.
We do. You guys were always busy and there's a million stories coming through TMZ that we're breaking and we're covering. So bear with us. It's been a busy day. However, let me tell you something. This is not surprising as far as someone being out on bond on a serious charge as far as trespassing and attempted, arson. But it's just the way our justice system is right now. Someone's not guilty until they're proven guilty. So until that point, they're presumed innocent. And that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, this person was allowed to or had access to attempt to re-enter Chris Brown's, property. And that's scary stuff. That's a real dangerous person who, unfortunately, our justice system or the judge should have saw and maybe had like a mental evaluation tested, but they didn't get that far. And so this person, attempted the crime again.
There are some unbelievable cases where there's a death and then you look at the history in the justice system and you see that they were let out on a signature bond or $100,000 bond. Some of the most horrendous cases, if you go look, they actually put a bond on it. So like it could even be $1 million, and they'll somehow get $100,000 to get out.
I don't even like that. I don't even like that setup where if your bond's $1 million, you're the bail's bond.
I don't like that. It's like you have to eat like what's the point of it being $1 million?
Yeah, what's the point? Whoever gets that $1 million.
And there are some crazy cases where, like, for example, I'm thinking of one, the subway in New York, or I forgot where it was, where the woman was in there and that man behind her slit her throat.
That was in North Carolina.
Yeah. And then
or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas.
And he, I believe
it was on a bus.
He was on bond from former violent crime or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you can't let these people out. Yeah. They're mentally unstable. They will do this again. They will go do something else.
And like I said, we can really talk about this all day because unfortunately, you know, people go into like, the jails are overcrowded, and
I don't care. Look at the Philippines.
I know, you know, and that's the sad part because there's some real, and I hate to call them criminals because some people just have mental health, you know, moments, and they're not criminals. They just have a snapping moment, like the man who did that thing to the woman. I don't know their names.
That's the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
worst thing.
And if you remember afterwards, he was just like he blacked out. He like didn't remember anything. Like he had a mental.
That's what he says.
Like a snapped moment.
That's what he says.
A snapped moment. And
I don't believe him.
Yeah, you'll never know. We'll never know if these people are really crazy or these people are just like cold-blooded murderers. We'll just never know. And that's unfortunate.
And how do you prevent all this stuff? How do you
prevent?
And
then this guy gets on bail. This guy gets out on bail to, you know, after, you know, getting arrested for trespassing Chris Brown's. And it's just like, you get out on bail and you're not going to put on an ankle monitor on him. Like nobody's going to be able to track him and be able to know that he's getting, you know, he's headed towards Chris Brown's house. Of course, they don't know that he's, you know, once he's on bail, they're hoping he doesn't want to go, you know, commit the same crime. But it just makes zero sense. But this story is not about our justice system.
It wasn't even that. Like, if you think about it, what he did the first time, the trespasser, it wasn't even that serious. So
what do you mean?
How could you have I mean, a trespasser, like, they're not going to put a no. I know, but they're not going to put a no bail on it. There's just no way.
I'm not saying a no bail.
I'm just saying like this is why this happened, because
until they're the court date, until, you know, you're charged with something officially, I think there should be some type of protocol where an ankle monitor or someone's checking around the clock. You have to check in with them or something. I don't know, like how people do when you go to rehab. Once you leave rehab, you go to a halfway house and you have to get like your breathalyzers and things like that. So with these criminals, I think there should be something like that in place.
I want to know if they gave him a bond amount again, because I have watched so many police cams.
Great question.
Where they get this happens and then they get another bond set and then they can get out again.
Great question.
It probably where's this, Tarzana, California?
That's a great question.
Oh heck yeah.
That's a great question.
He definitely probably got out again.
If that's the case, then
there's a guy, well, we won't do the last story. We'll get to the comments here, but there's a guy who, do you know about this in Burbank? He's called the butt sniffer.
No.
It's a real thing. You guys heard of this guy? 3 times.
Yes, I thought that was in New York City though.
No, it was in Burbank.
Oh wow.
So this guy goes to Barnes and Noble and he would sniff people's rear ends in the Barnes and Noble. And first time he gets out on bail, goes back to Barnes and Noble, does it again, gets arrested. And then they give him a bail again, gets out again, goes back to the same place again, and then sniffs more butts again. And they got him. And I don't know if they're putting a bail on it or not, but it is this, like, why would they let him get out again?
Well, you know, in my hometown in Tennessee, you know, there was a man who actually murdered someone that I was friends with his sister in middle school and high school. And the guy murdered him. He shot him. And then he got out on bail. And then he like hitchhiked. Someone picked him up, and it was actually a soldier who picked him up, you know, because I'm from a military town. And the soldier picked him up, and he murdered the soldier.
No.
And I'm just like, who lets murderers out on bond anyway? There's people who have gone to jail or prison for life for marijuana, and you're letting a murderer out on bail. But our justice system is not made for
that is messed
for
up.
Justice. So yeah,
killed a guy who's helping him out, a soldier. Like
killed an.
I have no words for that.
2.
No words for that. All right, well, we have one comment here. Mia Dallasite says, I say good for the transparency if they allow cameras into the mayor's office for a full term. Yeah, but they're going to edit it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know what? Those episodes, that reality show is going to be so edited and produced.
But the thing is, even though it's going to be produced, it's still a ton of pressure because there are producers in there are cameramen, there are people that he can't trust. We've seen
unless he hires his own team.
Yeah, but we've seen footage get leaked many times from even people that he trusted to film. So there is going to be pressure in the office. But I mean, at the end of the day, what does he really need pressure for?
You know what? All we can do is
dealing with.
Right. All we can do is see what happens from here.
So okay, all right, everybody. Thank you, Kay.
All right, you guys. Yes.
Come back on tomorrow or something.
Okay.
Yeah, great. See you tomorrow.
Peace out.